Discover South Florida, coming to you live once again from Podcast Junkie Studios in downtown Boca Raton. He is the man, Larry Mastropieri, broker, owner of the Mastropieri Group, knows all things real estate. So
all things.
He's certainly the man you want to talk to about these kinds of things. I know I do. And behind the camera, we have Ben Castro, our producer, director, owner, everything. I don't know what other titles. He's got a lot of titles. He wears a lot of hats.
He's our friend.
And I'm John Laws of Discover South Florida, and we have a great show for you here this evening. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, kind of like one of our most notorious landowners in West Palm Beach becoming a farmer, among other things. But before we get to that, we will start this evening in West Palm in the Northwood district. And evidently, it's about to look very different. 382 apartments and 60,000 square feet of retail are coming because we don't have enough stuff going on in that area of West Palm Beach, just north of downtown. It's exciting. So, Northwood District, as mentioned, getting its biggest infrastructure bet yet. After more than 3 years in the works, the district at Northwood, as it's called, is on track to deliver before the end of 2026. Larry, what have you heard about this one?
Northwood is super up and coming.
Yeah.
We know that for a number of reasons, right? GL just
Oh, that's where that
started
neighborhood,
their,
right.
Yep, no more project there. And they just opened up their showroom, right? A lot of our agents were in there recently. I got to pop in there. But yeah, you got 100 homes, new construction going on right in that downtown area. Let's show people where. So this is what this thing's supposed to look like, by the way. This thing that we're about to talk about, which is not the Nomar thing. This is and this is right along the train tracks. And what's interesting or not different, because this is what West Palm has strategically been doing and other big cities have been doing. The CRA has been aggregating this land in order to help this process along, right? And what I mean by that is they're acquiring land with taxpayer dollars and then structuring deals with private companies to thus sell it to them so that way they can build these big projects here. And so this is like a cornerstone of the Northwood expansion here and or just development. Ben, if you throw up on the screen the location, we could talk about this because this is it's like prime spot. So Northwood is realistic. If you think Northwood, you think about that bend right there along Federal Highway, right? So that's that US 1 right there. That's kind of where Northwood is. And if you just like look at that map for a second, just beneath the map, like is where West Palm Beach is. Downtown West Palm is literally right there. And you can kind of see to the right, you see a little bit of green. So you see some open lots. Jeff Green and owns a lot of that, I believe.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And if you zoom in now to Northwood, you can kind of see, okay, so now you're kind of in this like little Northwood sector. You can see this is kind of where it's been a little bit of an artsy area.
Well, where's Nora? Nora's just south of this?
So Nora is, if you zoom out, Ben, for 2 seconds, scroll south. Nora's right there, just south of Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, along the train tracks to the right. Yep, right there. Boom. That whole sector right there is Nora, which is all being redeveloped. That's well on its way, right? So that's awesome. And then we could talk all day about this stuff. I mean, there's just project after project all over. So if you just go back to where we were, this is Northwood. Northwood's been a story of, hey, this is up and coming. This is coming soon. Should buy there. Good investment opportunity. So it's a little bit priced in. People know of Northwood. They think it's interesting. And now with a few big moves from really big players, you're starting to see this. This is one of them. This is just yet another. What I like about this location is it's right along the train tracks. If you zoom in, you can see the train tracks are right there. This is the Bright Line train tracks, okay, and or the industrial train, right? The train that's moving all the heavy stuff through, which is a loud long train,
right? Especially when I'm trying to get across it,
Yeah, right, exactly. Whenever you want to cross over, that's when the train comes. This right here though is right at the corner of the Northwood, like downtown, if you will. So this is huge. This is a lot of land too, right? What is this? It's going to be 4.68 acres, 60,000 square feet of ground floor retail. So you got restaurants, other stuff there. And then you have how many? 382 luxury apartments. So this is a bet that this area is going to improve, because for the time being, if you're like, okay, when this thing's complete, that little downtown Northwood is not like that exciting, frankly. It's cool. It's eclectic.
Yeah, I mean, there's shops. Yeah, you know, if you live right by there, that's cool.
You probably walk it.
Right,
it's not like, I'm not going to say this is the safest place on the planet.
No,
you know what I mean?
we've established that.
Yeah, right. So it's scattered amongst rougher stuff.
Right.
And then again, just to like highlight the area, Ben, if you want to jump back on that, because I think it's worth describing for people who are like, oh, I'm investing in this area. If you zoom out and just go up a little bit, okay, so like east of Federal, a little bit better. West of Federal, not that good. In fact, pretty rough.
Isn't that where you...
Right? So actually, we just bought at auction on 38th Street this week on Friday.
Really?
Yeah, property this week. So if you could see right, where is it? That's 36th, right there, right where you're at. We bought on 38th. So this is still kind of in Northwood territory. And if you go 40th east of Federal or US 1, 40th to 45th is all GL. GL is building townhomes and single-family homes, $2 million-ish a piece in that area. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of development along the water there too, and so that whole neighborhood, 40th to 45th, is going to transition very quickly because GL owns it all, and they're going to bulldoze everything and put up their classic GL homes, new construction, good-looking stuff.
I have a question. So often when we're talking about these projects, and in some of the other cities within Palm Beach County, you need to get that initial construction loan to get things moving, right? What is it about West Palm that they always seem to get that needed construction loan to get this going, whereas we'll be talking about the same Boynton project 5 years from now? What is it? Why do they always seem to be able to get it going?
I think Boynton's a little sleepier than West Palm, right? I think you can get behind the story in West Palm. It's the third biggest city in South Florida, right? And so that makes sense. Whereas Boynton's kind of like random.
Yeah, Boynton was just the first
on
one
some level
in my head.
Yeah, but that's the truth. So I think it's less about. I think it's more about the deal specifically than it is about the area or West Palm itself. But again, West Palm seems to work, and you have big players playing in West Palm. You have, not to say you don't have big players playing in Boynton too. And by the way, it seems like the dirt's moving in Boynton. I was just driving through there because we just bought that thing, and I was coming down from West Palm back to Boca here, and I drove through Boynton to check out some stuff, and there's a lot going on there too. It seems like a lot of the stuff is breaking ground and moving right now. It's like we've crossed over this hurdle of, there was a lot of craziness, a lot of construction, a lot of starts happening on the construction side, 21, 22. Things started to fall off when those interest rates moved.
Yeah.
Now we've kind of gotten to stable territory to a degree, and now it seems like things are really kind of just moving along, and it seems like the business plans are making sense, whether the value of the dirt that they purchased comes down, or they're just getting these projects through or negotiating them, or these developers have somewhat of a clear future from their perspective. They feel more comfortable about what 2 years from now looks like in South Florida versus in 22 when the rates moved to 6%. Mm-hmm. It was like, well, what's going to happen? And I think a lot of people were like, a lot of developers were like, just take a second here, just see how this plays out. And now I think we're beyond that. Also, there's probably incentives from the new administration helping all this stuff too, right?
Right.
So, but anyway, so Northwood is not like the cleanest, safest,
which again
simplest.
Is kind of why I was making that point to begin with. It's like it's not necessarily the nicest part of South Florida, and yet they always seem to get stuff going.
I agree. I think, and again, I think, and they took $117 million loan for this deal right here. So Centennial Bank, which is a local bank that's providing the financing on this. So, and again, by the way, who's the guys that are pulling this off? Immo Corp Capital and Beachwold Residential Group. And so I think it's
seeing
somewhere
Immocore a lot more lately.
Yeah, and so hold on here. There was a note on this because I think it's worth bringing up. Emo Corp, the developer here, is the same firm behind the $430 million Becco Equities condo buyout bid on Portofino South and Flagler Yacht Club. This is like, so again, just for commentary, we've been talking about this, but they're active. So they're trying to buy a condo complex building in South West Palm and bulldoze it and put up a huge project. So these guys are real dudes. They're in the business here. They're not nobodies, which is super interesting. And again, when you have the city behind you supporting stuff like this, because the CRA, it says here, this project is built on CRA land, right? Community Redevelopment Agency land. That means the West Palm Beach Community Redevelopment Agency used taxpayer dollars to assemble and activate the site. So they wanted this to happen. Mm-hmm. They set it up, and then the developer came and said, I'll do it, right? And so this is really a direct sign where the city is putting its priorities, that the city wants to get this done. So they, assuming everybody plays nice in the sandbox here, this is rubber stamped. Yeah. This is ready to go. We all want to do this. We all have the same goals in mind, assuming it hits like the key metrics that we need to move forward here. So again, I think this is like for me, this is like the catalyst for that little downtown area of Northwood to start to actually feel like a little downtown that's not shoddy, not, and I'm saying eclectic. I said eclectic earlier, but really what I meant was like shoddy, and which is cool because it's got like a cool, unique vibe. Not everything has to be super high end and fancy here in South Florida. In fact, I appreciate that it's not, but again, like this is going to be the pillar. It's the corner piece for that area. And then you have GL building 100 homes to the north of it, which is still in Northwood, basically. And so anything between that project and Northwood will likely transition. We bought a foreclosure, as I mentioned, this week at county auction, and we probably won't hold this thing. We'll probably just turn it over to somebody because that's kind of what we do with the foreclosures we buy. But again, you look at these things. This is a 1926 build we bought, so it's not historic, but it basically is. And yeah, it's been around, and we paid $700,000 for that thing. Really? In Northwood, this is insane. It's 2,800 square feet under air, which is bigger than most stuff there. Yeah. But when you actually look at this thing, you're like $700,000, and a renovated one sold for 1.5. There's something pending next door that's 1926 for 1.8 pending right now.
It's a century-old.
It's kind of crazy. So these are the prices you can kind of see. Now, here's the bet. Here's the other bet you can make on this stuff. And I know I'm dragging this out, but I think it's worth noting. Northwood's kind of interesting. You can buy just like down the street. You can buy stuff for like substantially cheaper. Like if you cross over Federal Highway, right? Now it becomes substantially rougher, right? Like, I mean, substantially rougher. And that's the trick. This is why Northwood is like a big question mark for like if you want to move there and have like this level of like safety. Yeah. But
hey kids, don't wander any further north, okay? Yeah, stay out of the Northwest. Yeah, that would not be good.
Or riffraff just wandering in.
True.
Like, you know what I mean? True. So it can go either way. But with GL doing what it's doing there and putting 100 homes in that area, that's a pretty interesting bet. To say
it's like, gated too, isn't it? Or is
not really?
It's not. Okay.
Yeah, not really. We'll see how they kind of work that out. My understanding is it's not gated.
Okay.
Still getting educated from GL's team over there on that, but I'm pretty sure it's not, which is interesting because my initial reaction was it's gated, but there's not going to be amenities. GL's classic amenity game. They're not going to.
It's going to be that different.
Yeah, it's just different. They're just building houses on the lots and townhomes. But again, for them to do that, you're really moving the needle. I mean, there's not many places you can say, hey, in this neighborhood, we're going to build 100 new construction homes in an already existing neighborhood. That is very weird, like very outside the box of anything. And then again, same with so that's Nomar. That's what GL's got. And then Nora's the same thing. It's like, hey, we just bought everything. And we finally aggregated it all, and now we're doing this crazy thing. And that's, again, they probably bought 50 homes, and aggregated 50 homes at Nora. And so the north and the south, and then you got this project in the middle, and then you got the strip. It's like, this could be interesting. And I'll leave the audience with that. Could be interesting. We'll see where this goes. Maybe a good place to make a bet as an investor. Yep.
Well, clearly, you're investing in it. I mean, wow.
And I have stuff ancillary all over the place in that area, but this is the most recent thing, and I don't even intend to keep it. But I think somebody will, whoever holds that, will be very, very happy there. It's a decision we're going to make if we're going to keep it or not. So, anyway, let's talk Delray Beach ranking top in the nation for snowbird market. Right?
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting.
Makes sense.
This is like what's interesting about this is this Go Banking Rates is the name of the publication, right? Named Delray Beach one of the top 5 snowbird markets in the country, and this is at the same time Canadians are basically leaving South Florida in mass numbers, and again we're seeing a huge drop in Canadian demand here, but I guess the comment here for me is like Delray Beach, out of all the cities, right, that they could choose, because Delray Beach.
Why would you not think it is?
No, I think it's great. It's just like there's a lot of cities to choose across the country.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I was kind of like, Delray's nice.
Delray's nice, but it's not like this like super well known thing. I think here
maybe that's part of the allure. It's like
totally is, right? Mm-hmm. So what did they choose? Delray made the list alongside El Paso. Which I don't even know the name.
I saw the list. I was like, El Paso. I'm like, really? I mean, I lived in West Texas. I didn't wander to El Paso very often, but I mean, even so, I was like, respectfully, I don't see the correlation. Like,
yeah.
You know what, guys? I'm going to spend my off season in El Paso.
I think it's a two thing.
Okay,
I'm with you.
Teach their own. I mean,
I think it's
go UTEP.
I think it's a factor of like awesome and affordable, right? And so, do you know where Pascagoula is?
Bless you.
Thank you. Anybody? Ben? No? Nobody? They made the list too.
Pascagoula.
Port St. Lucie made the list.
Now, that would have been my guess. If you had asked me to guess somewhere down here, that would be a nice community that meets all the criteria on how they're basing these scores. Port St. Lucie absolutely would have came up.
Let's talk about how are they basing these scores?
I mean, they got it on the home values. There's like a aggregate a cost of living score. Mm-hmm. And they had Port St. Lucie. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty high. And what's interesting is they had Delray like blowing it off the charts with that. So
see, here's the trick about Delray.
Delray was a little more expensive.
I think when you think about Delray as an aggregate as a whole, you're like, oh, this city's less. It's affordable. But then when you actually like target the places you might want to be, really, in Delray, like downtown, we all think about Delray as expensive because downtown Delray is awesome, and to
those
be
houses are
Delray,
all really nice, and
to own a house in downtown Delray, you're probably not under, for an old house that needs a renovation or is going to be bulldozed is like $2 million, $1.5 million, right? And then new construction, is sitting at a minimum of $4 million, starting for. But again, you can get other stuff or in the surrounding area or buy a condo or something else for much, much more affordable prices, which is where Delray shines, which it says average home value $338,000, cost of living score 114.1, higher the better, is my understanding.
I assume that was the case since it was number one.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. No, it's not. Cost of living scores are from best places. National average is 100. Below 100 equals less expensive than national average. Oh, so it is more expensive than the national average, which I would expect. And then Port St. Lucie is a 98. Again, South Florida just isn't cheap, period.
No.
Let's just say that, right? So, and Port St. Lucie is like on the north end of South Florida, and questionable if you call it South Florida. Right. I think you probably it's questionable. It's right there.
It's arbitrary.
Yeah, exactly. Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw that line? So this article goes on to talk about Canadian visitors to Florida are down 15% year over year and down nearly 28% compared to pre-pandemic levels. A CBC report, which I was interviewed in, right? This is
that's right. Are you in?
Yeah, which is really funny. Yeah, I'm big time. That's right. That 54% of Canadians, U.S. property owners, are considering selling. 54% of Canadian U.S. property owners are considering selling, which is I would believe that. That sounds about right, just based on me running around selling houses. This is a common conversation we're having. Canadians are selling. We just met with a couple yesterday,
really,
that are considering selling. Now, here's the trick: everybody wants a big number, and usually they own condos, these Canadians, and so the conversation is like, "Hey, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's happening."
Right.
So that's usually the case. It's usually much harder to get these guys sold. So they continue to add inventory to the market, but they don't actually move the product, which is interesting. So, yeah.
Okay. We ready to go down to Miami?
Let's
talk a little bit about Lil Wayne.
Man.
All right. Allison Island is on a run because Lil Wayne's former mansion just sold for $33 million, and it is the third biggest deal on the island this season. So Lil Wayne sold this house. It was, $22.6 million. That was in 2023, but then it's now sold again, I see. It has sold again for $33.3 million. So, I mean, in 3 years, a $10.7 million jump. Or actually more like 2 years. The house sits on Allison Island, one of Miami Beach's most exclusive guard-gated communities. It was built in 2017, spans 10,300 square feet, and designed by Shof Levy-Fishman with 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and 110 feet of waterfront with a dock. So, I see. It was previously owned by Lil Wayne. But I guess once a celebrity's owned your house, you can, kind of slap that label on it wherever.
Forever.
I feel I'm like Seinfeld, did John Voight used to own this car? Really?
Can you throw up on the screen the address of where it is, Ben? I think that'll be valuable because we've talked a lot about this. A lot of these wealthy individuals have owned and bought and traded homes in these little islands around Miami. So you're in that territory of all these little islands in Miami. So this one's a little kind of tucked in here, which is interesting. This is not the same Bezos Island or Zuckerberg. I don't know
Are they in the same island?
They were saying Zuck was thinking about.
I get so confused now.
Yeah, they're confused.
Tom Brady's on that island.
Brady, yes. We named a whole bunch of other people.
Right.
I don't really care, but this is the least interesting topic for me to talk about. I like Lil Wayne, but I'm just.
But you're just saying
interested.
because it has no bearing on the rest of the real estate world. It's not a pulse. It doesn't give a pulse to anything other than
exactly. It's we'll talk about it.
Just a celebrity flex.
The people want it,
right?
John. Every time we talk about this, guys, you guys click. And you engage.
Right? Well, even I'm kind of interested, just solely there it is. I mean, you don't find it interesting that Mark Wahlberg lives in West Delray? I find that interesting.
I find it interesting briefly, but there's not much more substance to
then
it
I clicked
than
it.
this.
But then I clicked it. All right.
You clicked it.
Oh,
That's
okay,
my
so
point.
this is our clickbait.
So this is our clickbait moment
okay.
here.
All
this
right.
is
we don't even hide it.
This is it. This is why we do this. We do this for you people, so you'll click on our.
What do you mean,
thing.
you people?
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, so there's not much beyond this, but it's just interesting again to see how the wealth continues to relocate to South Florida.
Or leaves, though. I mean, where did Lil Wayne go?
Lil Wayne may have left, but somebody showed up and paid $10 million more than what Lil Wayne, sold it for, which is kind of crazy. It's just in a 2-year span. Now, maybe they did some renovations and updates they never say here, and usually that's hush-hush. But again, $10 million in value in 2 years is kind of wild for these guys.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say it's a lot better than, oh my goodness, the soccer player we were talking, David Beckham. with that Miami penthouse. In 5 years he didn't do that well.
Yeah, so it's deal by deal. So clearly this was a decent one, assuming they didn't spend more than $10 million doing renovation. Here's the thing, though. The buyer is hiding behind a Delaware LLC called Allison 6480 Land Trust, which is standard practice.
which is my Xbox gamer handle or something.
Yeah, right. Totally. That's how you find them. Go on Xbox right now. You'll find them there. Both sides were represented by Douglas Elliman. Cool. Let's see. The listing agent pointed to low inventory in Miami Beach in this like ultra luxury area. So that's really what's doing this. And again, we're just seeing this wealth move because again, just
got to put the money somewhere.
Got to put the money somewhere, but also you're trying to dodge taxes. They talked about Larry Page paid $188 million for 3 Coconut Grove homes earlier this winter. Zuckerberg and his wife paid $170 million for Indian Creek Estates, which is where Bezos is, and etc. So, yeah. So this is the move when you're trying move to Florida. Miami's awesome. If you have crazy wealth, right? And so that's.
Which again, I still always wonder, like, if they're ever actually there. You know what I mean? Like
6 months and a day, according to their tax returns, I'm sure. Yeah. This is more interesting, though. That Steve Ross, owner of the Miami Dolphins, is officially retiring, and he's going to be a farmer. That's what it says here, right, John?
It's a peaceful life.
That's the headline.
Yeah.
So let's see. Ross, he just bought. I'm just kidding. He's not retiring. This guy's never going to retire.
Yeah. He'll retire when he has a tag on his toe. Are you kidding?
Exactly. But he just bought a farm in Wellington, and now he's turning it into something else entirely, as you would expect. What is a real estate guy going to do with a farm? You know what he's going to do. Wellington just approved Steve Ross to build 7 stories high on land that was farmland until recently. Hotel, restaurant, offices, retail.
And Wellington would be okay with that? I thought they were really... It. Oh, wow.
That's it. Steve Ross did it. He made it happen.
That's amazing.
We all thought he was going to be a farmer. So what is he doing here? He's got 215 residences, a private school for 1,750 students.
Oh, the private school.
Mm-hmm. All on 66 acres. He bought a farm with a 66-acre farm is like
That's a huge
farm. A big place here in South Florida where there's not like that much land. Let's see. The Wellington Village Council approved a conditional use height permit for related.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because I mean, if you're ever out in Wellington, there's no big buildings, which I assume was by design.
Of course.
Wow.
This happened 8 days ago, just for everyone's benefit, clearing the way for an 86-foot extended stay hotel, a lakeside restaurant building, and a pair of 3-story commercial buildings connected by a bridge at 10400 Stribling Way. Stribling, there you go. The site is being acquired from Wellington. The site is being acquired from Wellington for $446.3 million. Okay, so the city's doing this. They sold it to him, so they had a plan in mind. Again, when you have the city kind of doing these things and they're aligned with your goals, things tend to work, right? The permit was required because Wellington caps most new buildings at 35 feet. Okay, so they went from 35 feet to 86 feet.
That's insane.
That's a big deal.
That they signed off on that.
That's a big deal. Everything above that needs council sign-off, and now they have it.
Did everybody on the board get a new yacht or something? What happened here?
Yeah. They all got season tickets to the Dolphins.
Oh well, sure. No. He wants to win them over, not scare them away.
That's hysterical. Oh. The tallest structure is a 7-story, 175,000 square foot extended stay hotel. Okay, that's where the height restriction comes in. 180 rooms. Just east of it, two 3-story buildings totaling 68,000 square feet of office, retail, restaurant space, which is connected by a second and third floor bridge, which is kind of cool. That'll be neat. And let's see, a 22,500 square foot 2-level restaurant building with balconies and outdoor seating sits on the lakeside. The rest of the buildings are 1 or 2 stories. The full rezoning scope approved earlier includes 210,000 square feet of retail, 105,000 square feet of restaurant space, 75,000 square feet of office, and 215 residential units. Can we pull up the location, Ben, of where this is? You may have already done it, but I wasn't watching you. You were on it. Look at you. He's the best, right? You can't beat Ben. He's the best. Okay, Ben, can you zoom out? Zoom out a little bit. Great. Okay, so this is this is just right in the heart of Wellington right there. It's right off 441, which is kind of a busier main road, so it's got good access. This is a good spot to do this. And again, the city's aligned with it looks like. So that's
I mean, if it's close to State Road 7, then at least I understand, but it just the overall look and the equestrian and everything, I just always see Wellington as a community that very consciously kept themselves small. That's why it just surprised me.
Yeah, but if you drive through Wellington today, like you kind of see less horse stuff and more just suburbia, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like master developments from GL and others that are all over the place. And so this thing, just like everywhere else in South Florida, we joke about this. We're paving over everything. There's no dirt anywhere. This is a concrete jungle out here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which is positive, has its positives and negatives, right?
Right.
Yeah. So here's the deal: they're putting in a private school, Winggrove Academy.
Well, I remember that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Will be run by the West Palm Beach-based Elevated ED or Ed. We had to try. We were still confused. Anybody from Elevated ED wants to reach out to us and tell us how to actually say their name, we'd appreciate that. So we can continue, representing.
I think they got pills for that, man.
Yep, exactly. And it's designed for 1,700 students, pre-K through 12th grade. It is slated for completion in 2028. School's parent operator, Education in Motion, runs 14 schools across Switzerland, the UK, and Singapore. This would be its first U.S. location. Oh,
it's really, I've seen the renderings and stuff. For a school, oh my God.
Yeah,
there's colleges that don't even come close to that.
And again, this is part of Steve Ross's greater master plan, right? You build the education arm, you build the retail arm, you build the office arm, then you build the resi, then you build the vacation stay stuff. You got all that hospitality. That's the word I'm looking for. You build the hospitality piece, and you control all these things in a sector. You become dominant, and this is like another puzzle piece in place here, which will be interesting. Again, this will be interesting to see how this goes. I think this is good. I think it's just net positive for the area. Over in Wellington, you could use probably another hotel. You could use some additional, fancy, cool restaurants to increase the vibe over there.
That's true, because how am I supposed to be able to come watch a equestrian show if there's no hotels?
That's it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's demand for this, and so that's probably part of the reason, right?
Well, yeah.
Yep. I hope. Yep. Let's talk about Mass Capital. And how they want to replace a low-rise office building in West Palm Beach with a 25-story condo tower. Yet again, more development on its way. And this is on Dixie Highway. Look at this poor little building. It's going to get demolished. A Miami developer known for luxury towers just paid $5.2 million for this thing. Let's see.
That's a steal.
$5.2 million in downtown West Palm, basically. Yeah. I mean, that's downtown. This is like, we've been talking about ancillary stuff, and this is in the heart of everything. But I think I noticed this earlier. How many square? How big is this lot? It's not that big. Let's see. An affiliate of Mass Capital called 400 Hibiscus Acquisitions LLC has proposed a 25-story, 86-unit condo tower at 635 South Dixie Highway in West Palm Beach. The project went before the City Plans and Plats Review Committee on March 12th. There you go. It's 0.85 acres, so 0.85 acre site for $5.2 million, not even an acre. Currently holds low-rise office buildings from 2001. Not that old. A 2001 building. This is kind of like what we're seeing in Miami too, right? They're just bulldozing these things, and they were built 20 years ago. The proposal includes a 5,700 square foot private club and a 6,400 square foot ground floor retail project. Corwell Architects designed the building. So sounds interesting. More density in downtown West Palm Beach. Can you zoom in on the map on that, Ben? And let's just take a look at
Which I was about to say. I was like, oh, is this by Palm Beach Atlantic?
It's probably close to that garage that the
that didn't get built.
No, the garage got built.
Oh, the garage got built. It was like the big
he just
dorm
didn't
building.
They just didn't like it.
Oh,
remember they were like,
that's right.
Everybody,
the mayor was just talking trash. How he didn't like
how it looked. Yeah. So okay, this is where we're at. Where is that? Where is that building? Is it this thing? It must be that thing right there. Yeah, that little corner. And all right, look at that. Yeah, that's it right there. Boom.
Yeah. It
looks bigger from up top. Yeah, look at this thing. This thing was just built. It's just like bananas. That my guess is this is something that goes through.
Yeah. I know.
Why not?
I know where this is.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And because again, this is a more residential in downtown West Palm. More walkability. I think it kind of helps the vibe of the city overall. I'm kind of pro make that city more walkable. Because I think it could use that. That's my perspective.
It always use it.
Yeah. Again, we're kind of all about.
We're inventing, action. Right? I mean, we will invent uses for it.
Yeah. The site is a block east of City Place, which is the mixed-use campus that has all the cool stuff going, right? So you can kind of see that. Like if you zoom out for a tiny bit, you can kind of just see. It's just the City Place is right there. I mean, you can walk to the Brightline station from there. Everything's going on right there. You can walk to Clematis. I mean, you're in the action. If you live there, you can walk downstairs and you walk and you can enjoy everything you want from there, which is kind of cool. Let's see. And it's 11,934 square feet of office right now. So we'll see where that goes. Mast Capital is a Miami-based real estate investment firm and developer with over $1 billion in portfolio capitalization, focused on luxury, residential, hospitality, and mixed-use projects. The same week this project went before West Palm's committee, Mast Capital's 17-story, Pergon Tower in Miami Beach topped out. So basically, they finished or they hit the height, and now they're doing the interior/exterior. Their pipeline also includes a 397-unit Cipriani residence in Brickell, slated for 2026, so very soon, that one's expected, and a 320-unit luxury rental community in Fort Myers. So these guys they're
all over.
They're shaking and baking, right? So the South Dixie Highway corridor in West Palm Beach is a natural target for this kind of infill development, as you and I just discussed. It sits between the downtown core and the southern residential neighborhoods, and the city has been actively encouraging densification along that stretch. So again, and we've seen this right there. I mean, West Palm is pro development in select areas, and this is one of them. So, and they paid $5.2 million for this thing last year, replacing a low-rise office building.
Well, it's interesting to me how clearly all of these different communities have sort of identified themselves or at least see themselves in a certain light. It seems like, and I'm referring really to Palm Beach County, how West Palm seems to be the one that is all about the development and wanting to grow, while on the other side down here in Boca, they're like, no, that is the last thing we want. We'll be stalwarts against any sort of development, which, is fine, I guess. But it's I feel like the lines have been drawn, with this recent vote. And then you see what Delray's doing. It's like theirs is very controlled.
I think the difference is the population demographics. What I mean by that is
that's older here.
I think you have a little bit more of an older population here than, say, in West Palm. I think West Palm skews younger. Cities naturally skew younger, right?
Right.
I think, and this is me just talking.
No, it's true.
Smack, but I'm pretty sure those are the stats. We've seen this before, but we can double check that. And I think that's part of it. I think you move to West Palm because you're looking for a city environment, and so when they're building stuff, you're like, oh yeah, good, right? And so I don't think you have so many residents focused on anti-development. And in Boca, you have the old guard here still, which is people who have bought here and have lived here for 30 or more years, and have opinions about that, and or people who bought here recently and they like the way it is, and they like that suburbia feel or suburban feel, or almost not suburban feel. I mean, this is definitely not, farm.
Yeah, or just not adamant about it one way or the other,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think you have, it's so funny. I've had a lot of people reach out to us about that vote in Boca, but not on the negative side, not like attacking us, but like upset that the vote went the direction it went.
Oh, well, yeah.
And so, which is super interesting. So I've had a lot of people doing that lately.
Well, it's where were you guys when, maybe you should have been a little more vocal when this was all going down.
And most of these guys voted. So they voted, they were the 25%
right.
that voted, hey, let's kind of build something here and let's work on this. And so again, it's just very interesting. It was just very interesting that people were reaching out to us on that front, upset about the not going through.
Right.
But anyway, I think that's again, to your point, it's a sign of Boca Raton, a little anti-development, whereas West Palm Beach,
I feel like, and it's like from West Palm, and it's like West Palm, like north. I mean, Jupiter doesn't get the headlines, but I know, they're still building stuff up there, and Palm Beach Gardens, and so on and so forth. So it's funny just to see how everybody is being so selective in what direction they want to go as we continue to move forward here.
Yeah, I think if you want to bet on development, you're not betting on Boca. You know what I mean? Right?
I mean,
which I think it's evident now. Like now more than ever, I think you can just say that. So for anybody that's watching this and trying to understand how to make an investment bet or thinking about what's going on, you could probably bet that Boca leans a little bit more less development long term. So if you're looking for that, Boca's a good spot for you. If you're not looking for that, then you may consider Delray as an example, who is just full bore.
Right.
Let's go. Build stuff.
But it's full bore, but different.
But different, totally.
You know what I mean?
They're maintaining what we call their city by the sea, quaint feel while developing, and there's some resistance there too. West Palm, on the other hand,
no, it's let's go. I feel like they're going to look like the next Fort Lauderdale or something.
I would totally agree with that. So if you're looking for that, and you think if you're making the bet on that as an investor, you're probably leaning West Palm, and I think that's a fair way to go. West Palm has tons of potential for that reason. Mm-hmm. You're going to get way less resistance there. You're going to get a lot more development, a lot more people. Just everything is going to transition there probably long term. And the other cities are going to be less of that. Delray, more of it, but more than Boca, but less than West Palm for sure. I mean, you're not building. The city's not going to allow them to build a 20-story building in Delray. This is not happening, right? So
right.
So, well, let's move on. Right?
Okay.
All right. $5 billion developer targets Pompano Beach's oceanfront with luxury condo proposal. And here we are again. This is what we do. This is what we talk about. And this is yet another one in Delray. So another one in Pompano. But I mean, how many of these things have gone up in Pompano? Look at this thing. And that's what it once was, or is currently, and will no longer be. And this is the same story.
It's a hidden gem, Larry. It shouldn't go.
It's historic. It's a 1950s building. Come on. All right, let's talk about it. So what are they doing? There's a proposal for a 15-story luxury condo tower designed by, I can never pronounce this company's name. Architectonica.
Oh, right. Nice. Very nice.
Did I nail it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. With an oceanfront pool and sea turtle-friendly lighting, which is a priority here, for sure. By the way, I'm pretty sure every building has sea turtle-friendly lighting.
Well, I would hope so.
I think it's a code. I'm pretty sure. I don't so the fact that we're pointing that out as the feature of this building. Maybe there's not too many other features to talk about. I don't.
No, I think that's exactly it.
Throws out red flags for me. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a nasty email.
Well,
from this
it's
developer.
True.
Oh God. All right. Turks Capital Acquisitions LLC is behind La Plague at Pompano Beach. That's not what it is.
I don't know. La Plage.
La Plage. That's what it is. Totally. Let's go with La Plage. God, guys, just come up with names that are easier for me and John to say, for the love of God.
Plage.
La Plage at Pompano Beach. It's a 59-unit luxury condo planned for a 1.29 acre site at 552 and 600 and 604 North Ocean Boulevard. The developer already owns the Brig O'Doon condominium. So again, another developer buying out condos, which is a 7-unit building from 1951 and has the adjacent 1953 duplex under contract. Okay, this is crazy. So you have these developers building hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate. They're developing on this land, and how they're doing it is they're buying a duplex here, a 7-unit building there,
and combining them
and combining the parcels to do this thing. But it's like, it's kind of wild that, you know, this is what it takes in South Florida to get some of these projects going. And the reality is this doesn't always happen because these big developers are doing this. They're not actively kind of figuring this out. Usually it's like small guys that specialize in this. Like, they're like, I got that duplex, I can put this together. I think there's a developer that'll want this. Let me call up go through my Rolodex and see if there's anybody interested, and then they kind of make it happen, right? But they've owned one of these, and now they just put the thing under contract next door, which is kind of interesting. So what is this? Pompano Beach's Development Review Committee considered a rezoning and land use amendment on February 18th, a month ago. 1 month ago. Official site plans had not been submitted as of mid-February. All right. So what are they talking about doing here? As we talked about, 15-story building, 59 residences, 5,000 square feet of commercial space or mixed use, and 2 levels of underground parking. Here we go with the underground parking. It's the only way to get stuff done.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine.
It's like, it works, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know how else you could handle it.
We're going to get one storm surge one day here in South Florida, knock on wood.
Yeah,
this is bad for me to say.
No, and then it's gonna. I mean, eventually
we're gonna have swimming pools of cars,
right,
in all these buildings. It's gonna be crazy. Architectonica is the architect, the same firm behind the Brickell City Center, the Atlantis on Brickell, and multiple other South Florida landmarks. Keith is the civil engineer. Keith, he's a guy. No, I'm just kidding.
What is?
Maybe that's a company.
Oh yeah, it's like an acronym.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
The building will include exterior lighting designed to protect nesting sea turtles. Again, I'm pretty sure everybody does this. A requirement for oceanfront development along this stretch. So again, I guess there's not as much development in Boca, but this is a big thing in Boca. There's actually what do we call it? What's the turtle sanctuary here in Boca?
Oh, Gumbo Limbo?
Gumbo Limbo.
Gumbo Limbo.
Yeah, so Gumbo Limbo is a research facility and helps protect sea turtles. And so on the beach during sea turtle nesting season, you have certain lighting requirements. If you're putting windows in, you have certain restrictions on the type of window and the tint, etc. The buildings have to comply with sea turtle friendly lighting on the exteriors, as these guys said. So they're doing this in Pompano too. So in this little area, it's kind of wild. Every season we have sea turtles, and a lot of them, which is pretty cool, and very unique. And so we try to protect that, and it's kind of wild. Literally, these scientists are running around. They're marking the nests. So
I've seen the mark. Right.
Mm-hmm. They're marking the nests. So they watch, and every season, up and down, miles and miles of ocean front, there's all these nests, and they're all marked, and you're supposed to not like walk on them and whatever, right? So, yeah,
right. Until a Florida man story just presents itself.
Yeah. So these guys are not new to the area. Turk Capital Partner and its principals include predecessor firm Max Capital, and they've acquired over $5 billion in real estate across office buildings, residential condominiums, and hotels. Their portfolio spans iconic New York City properties and international luxury resorts. So again, people don't appreciate this, but down in South Florida, there's so many big players that are coming from other places, and this is just a perfect example of this. So it's like, when people come to me, I had actually somebody telling me today, if I wanted to develop in South Florida, I have all these contacts from all over. I could make that happen pretty easily. I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't want to, knock you
I don't
down.
want to discourage you.
But
right.
like, I mean, these guys these guys got $5 billion in assets under management, and that's who you're competing with, right? And they've done, 30 projects in the area. They know the city officials. They know everyone. There's like nothing. They got the business plan down. They know what they're doing. And then if you come in from out of the area, not having that experience, not having worked in South Florida,
I was gonna say, ask Penn, Florida, how important experience can be.
Like things don't always work out. It's just that it's a fact, and the cost associated with the execution here in South Florida because of the hurricane requirements, the infrastructure, et cetera, et cetera. This is not a simple thing to come. Even to come build a single family home, we get a lot of guys on the resi side that come talk to me about this, and they say, I want to come down, I want to develop some homes. I'm like, do you know how many guys down here that are building homes that are building 40 a year, custom specs? Like, there's a lot of them, and they're running up and down South Florida doing this. Like, they got crews, they got everything dialed in, and they can, and it's still not an easy business for them. And so that's what you're playing with. I mean, we built one home, and we were just like, well, we made money on this one, great, but this business model is really tough to compete with these guys. And again, I'm here, I'm doing this, I know all these guys, and it's like, it's still tough. So you either got to commit to that as a full-time thing and really get in and work your butt off to get through, or not. So this is, again, just like, there's a lot of big players down here, and I think that's something I have a conversation with people about quite frequently when they think that South Florida is just this ripe opportunity, and it is, but it isn't.
Right, and watch after the World Cup too. There's going to be so many people that are going to come in here and are going to have that same thought. That's my prediction right now.
Totally.
People are going to have conversations. They're all going to be showing off to each other that they can do this, and it's
totally 100%.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so we digress, but if we talk about, just to like wrap up this Pompano Beach condo discussion here. Again, can you pull up the map again real quick? Just like location-wise, I didn't even talk about this, but this property is still under review. It's still early in the process. So zoom out a little bit. How far north or south? Okay, so this is just north of Atlantic, right? South of 14th. I know this map without even seeing the, it's on the ocean. Is that what I'm seeing here? So ocean front. Yeah. So this is the one. Okay. So this is prime real estate. Man, a lot of developers would kill for this. And this is going to be a cool boutique building, and it's going to really fit in with the other projects that are there. It's right by the pier. That's pretty close to walkable. It's like dead middle. You could walk down. You're like, if you go, you see where that A1A breaks off, and there's that separate road just south of there, Ben. Like, scroll down a little bit there, boom, and that's the pier. So that's like where the action is, right? Like, this is it right here, the pier, and then the surrounding areas where the city invested a lot to kind of get this area going. And so that's a walkable location. That will be a cool building, and you can. You can bet that's going to get some decent demand, and again, people like boutique buildings, especially these higher end buyers.
Right.
The boutique building's unique. It's nice.
I was going to say, it's got character.
It's got character. It's like less people in your face. So there's a value to that. And there's so many other projects. I mean, the W is under construction, literally right where Ben's cursor was, south. Yep, right there, like all the way down.
I was going to say, it's out in the ocean?
It's not on the ocean, believe it or not. It's across
Oh,
the
it's
street.
not?
Yeah, it's right. It's right there, like just south of that, where that vacant lot is. Boom, right there.
Oh, okay.
But it's awesome. Like the W Residences and Resort is going to be a sweet spot because it's right on the corner of Atlantic and A1A, which is epic. So that's the most walkable, epic spot ever. And the amenities in that building are going to be awesome. So if you want to have a good time and you want to be in the action, the W is a good place to buy. They are probably breaking ground as we speak. They were close to hitting that 40% threshold. So they can break ground and get the dirt moving. But this project, again, we digress, is going to fit nicely into the model. The one thing I'll call out about all this, though, right now is, you and I have talked about this before, is like, there's a lot of these new condo buildings going up. And I would. Are
you saying in Pompano or just in general?
In general, but Pompano specifically. Yeah. And I would just argue that I can see what's happened with the other buildings. The other buildings have pre-sold, they've sold out. The ones that are done, they're done, they're closed. But then all the speculators that bought all those things have put them properties back on the market. So you have like
we've talked about
21, 22, 23, 24, 25 buildings in that area. And there's a fair amount of inventory. And these owners are hoping that they can get more than what they paid for because they tied their money up for 2 years because they pre-bought them, right?
Yeah.
And I would just say those things are not moving that fast. And that makes me concerned for anything new that's coming up. And so I think we're getting close to a moment where that inventory might push prices down a little bit. In fact, we've had this experience in Boca with a client we've shopped with. We talked about this a couple times, but like we made offers substantially lower or at what these guys paid when they pre-sailed, and we got one done. And so there's going to be, I think there's a little bit of that after the season passes, and that was the whole thing. Like a lot of these owners and realtors are like, yeah, this season we're going to get it done. Whatever you don't get done this season, that inventory is probably going to climb a little bit more. We'll see. Overall, inventory has kind of come down a little bit in South Florida in the past few months, just for everybody's benefit. Like that's what we're seeing. You know, we were seeing it climb, and we were expecting it to climb more, but it's actually come down a little bit. And so we're having a healthy market season right now. So we'll see what the summer does. But again, I think there's just a lot of this inventory hitting the market. You got the new stuff coming and the new stuff that's going back to market. It's just I have some concerns, and we'll flag that. We'll flag that for a year from now, and we'll see what we say.
All right. Let's wrap up tonight with what's going on with Highland Park Townhomes in Delray Beach. This was approved in 2020. No permits filed. Developers not going to talk about it. And at some point, buyers need to stop waiting and start asking better questions. So a 1.37 acre site at 375 and 95 Northeast 6th Avenue, located 4 blocks north of Atlantic Ave, was assembled by Corshen Development for $4.9 million through 2 transactions. This is a long time ago, in 2005 and 06. Now, the developer received city approvals between 2019 and 2022 for a planned development of 31 4-story luxury townhomes, with units anticipated to price around $2 million. As of March of this year, no active building permits appear in public records for the site, and the development's current status is unknown, with Corshen Development offering no comment when our team contacted them. Who's our team? Who wrote this?
Our team.
Oh, we actually did?
Wow. We're stepping up our game now.
Way to go, Gianella Altuna.
There we go.
There's your shout out. There's your shout out. I know she did. All right.
There we go. We're stepping up our game. We're reaching out to developers. We're talking to them.
I assumed it was real.
Yeah, no, it's us. It's legit us. So, Ben, pull up the location on the map. I mean, we showed the site. This is interesting. This location is interesting to me, which is why we kind of approved it and talked about it. So, all right. So if you zoom out a little bit, okay. So where are we? We're that's Lake Ida, right? Zoom out a little bit more. So so that's downtown Delray. So you can see Atlantic Ave there, right? So that's Atlantic Ave, the big road going east to west. So you're like, I don't know, a half mile or less, a quarter mile from downtown. I mean, you walk right down. And the neighborhood you're looking at, we have a listing in there right now. Actually, we have more than one listing in there. That's Palm Trail.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You know it well because we've spent time there. So this, to me, this location, if they get this done, it'll get done at some point. It's just a matter of who's gonna, eventually this will make sense and somebody will do the deal. This will really help the Palm Trail neighborhood because I think it just like it kind of finishes off the entrance. Not that this is the only entrance to Palm Trail. There's a bunch of entrances here, but it's just one more super clean entrance with nice residential.
Oh, it's a lovely area. No doubt. I mean, I seriously, I loved that area.
Yeah, it's one of the best. Okay, this neighborhood here is like one of the best, if not the best neighborhood in downtown Delray Beach. It's not. It's
just the look of it, all of it. I mean,
for me, it's like top 2 neighborhood in downtown Delray. If you zoom out a little bit, I'll give you my spiel on this. Okay, so yeah, we can stop. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so you have Palm Trail, which is like east of east of Federal Highway, north of Atlantic, south of George Bush. That's the sweet spot. Really like that neighborhood. You can live there, walk to the beach, walk to downtown. It's a really quaint neighborhood. Yeah. Love it. It's just the best. It's literally the best. And you walk out of there, and then all of a sudden you're in downtown Delray, where all the action is, and then you walk back, and it's quiet.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, I know. It's just hidden away there.
It's perfect. It's perfect. The other neighborhood that's like on my top list is just east of there, across the Intercoastal, on the island, which you can't argue with. It's just like, it's just really nice. So that whole little area on the island south of George Bush, north of Atlantic, and you could walk to the beach within seconds. The only downfall to that neighborhood, in my opinion, is one, you're on the island, so you gotta, if you live there, you're crossing over to go anywhere you go, which means you probably hit the bridge like I do in Boca, because I live on the island,
right.
as you know, and it's annoying from time to time. Number two is, storm surge, any of that stuff, storms coming, you're probably not staying on the island, you're probably evacuating. Whereas Palm Trail, you could stay there. Whatever, you're probably fine. So you probably will be fine. And then also, like, it depends on like what you value. Like, walking to downtown's a little bit more of a walk versus Palm Trail. I mean, you're in the mix in like literally 5 minutes or less. Yeah. Walking, like 2 seconds or less. So that area is pretty sweet. And by the way, like, new construction townhomes in that neighborhood.
Yeah, there were a lot of new builds.
$3.5 million. $4 million.
So what the hell are these guys doing?
So what the hell are these guys doing? That's the question.
No idea.
That's what we're trying to find out. And Gia reached out, but couldn't get him on the phone. And I reached out for a few other of these communities here that are on this like stall, and we haven't gotten feedback yet.
It's interesting because it seems like in a situation like that, as a developer, I'd imagine, at least to me, it comes off like you're doing yourself a huge disservice by not.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
So let's look at this. The likely culprits are familiar across South Florida, is what they're commenting on. Though we cannot confirm which apply here specifically. I could probably give you my 2 cents on this. But construction costs rose sharply after 2021. We know that. Yeah. There was reportedly neighborhood opposition over density. I bet that's the case too. That neighborhood has strong opinions. I think it's net positive. I think they should make it happen. And by the time the market softened in 23 and 24, the economics that made 31 units at $2 million viable were presumably harder to pencil out. But again, here's the thing. 2 million, it depends on how many square feet you're putting in on these things. Did it say how many square feet per unit? It might have. There's a site plan, architectural plan. Let's see if you find it.
I was going to say, if there is, I overlooked it.
Yeah, maybe on the
site is 1.37.
Yep. And so when you sit here, my argument is like, I think you probably $2 million. Maybe that's the number, just because it's on the road. And if it's smaller than I think than the stuff on the interior, sure, maybe. I mean, there's stuff in the interior that's sold for $4 million, but those are that's like, I think, 4,000 square feet range. So, you're trading a little bit above 1,000 a foot, 1,100, 1,250, 1,350 a foot can be these townhome sales, just depending. It really varies. You can get as high as 1,500 a foot, somewhere in that range, 1,000 to 1,500, depending on what it is and how big they are, and and the amenities associated with the townhomes. But that's kind of the range. And so again, that it could be. It's quite possible that these are 2,000 square foot units, or 2,500 square foot units, and now they're on Federal Highway, and so it's possible that math is still applicable there. Yep. Yeah. So again, yeah, I get it. It's probably a little bit of everything here. It's cost more to build, neighborhood opposition. Can't sell them for as much as you probably hoped you would. And so they're probably waiting this out for the right moment to strike, and we'll see when that is. At some point, something like this gets done. From my perspective, if you're in Palm Trail and you're like opposing this, I'm just sitting there saying, well, what? And this is what you and I do all the time. We're like, well, what's the alternative?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
We're just like, okay, do you want them to build restaurants there, like retail first front floor where you got restaurants in the back and you get the smell of the restaurant? Probably not. You probably want residential lining there if you're in Palm Trail. And if you're not, if you're a developer, well, maybe you're reconsidering this, and maybe you're putting 3 stories, and maybe you're putting some condos up top and some retail on the first floor. I mean, this is downtown Delray, right? That might be a better move for you. And then all of a sudden, now the residents of Palm Trail are going to be like, well, we don't like that. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you probably should have went with the residential thing and not pushed back at the time. So sometimes it's like, as my dad would say, you cut off your nose to spite your face, right? So that's I think that's something for people to chew on when they're really thinking about opposing a project. Because the reality is like even the One Boca thing, like something is going to happen there. It might not happen today, but when 10 years from now, it probably happens, right? Like development is coming and progress is coming for everything, and so most likely you're going to see some redevelopment.
I just wonder how sour people were because the initial project was 33 acres or whatever, and they weren't even going to vote on it.
Yeah.
Like in retrospect now, I'm like, okay, I can understand why people were upset about that, but then it's like, now that they've got a bad taste in their mouth, they're like, all right, well, you could have thrown out the best idea ever. And be like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so maybe when they revisit this in another 10 years, they'll finally do something. So.
Yeah, we'll see. But all on that note.
Yep, we are wrapping up here on behalf of Larry Mastropieri, broker, owner of the Mastropieri Group. I'm John Laws of Discover South Florida. I want to thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.